From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Thank God it's Friday!
We have made it. We have made it to the 100th episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. And you know, there were those who said, you know, Mo, you'll never make it to 100. You'll never make it to 100 episodes. Well, look at me now. Stand down, Fleabag. I'll get this one. They're all going to call and congratulate me now. Hello, it's Mojo. Go.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Pressure. More pressure. All right, who's up for another action-packed adventure on Finally Friday? Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. So you loved my idea, did you? Well, we'll bring it up again if you missed it. I have a very serious question I want you to ponder this weekend. Is Hooters making a comeback? It's possible. The ultimate fake-it-until-you-make-it story is on the way. And guess who wants a piece of Angel Reese? Another round of head trauma is on the way. We're going to need you to be sharp because I'm whipping out the movie mashup on you today. Plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including the Friday Funny. And we got a really good one for you today. Stealing the line from Steve Harvey at Family Feud. All right, that's what's coming up today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Friday, July 11th, 7/11. That's why it's kind of cool to have a 100th episode on 7/11. I like the way it all ties in there. You know, I do feel like we need some cake, topless dance, or something here, Fleabag. I mean, you know, I always say that I don't miss my radio days, and that's a bold-faced lie, because there are some things I do miss, like the Friday food fights. God, we had some knockdown, drag-out, dirty food fights just about every Friday. Oh, they were legendary. You know, think of every food you can imagine, and every single one was used as a weapon of mass destruction. Oh, it was just good times. All right, let's get into the wrap today. Now, on Wednesday's episode, I mentioned how mentally sick and twisted the Democratic Party is, and that we, the normal people, libertarians, independents, and Republicans, needed to show some compassion by voting every single Democrat out of office at all levels of government so they can go heal. 10 years of Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, has taken its toll, and there's 3.5 years to go, so it's only going to get worse unless we do something collectively. And that's why I say we need to vote everyone out, every Democrat, top to bottom, federal, state, city. I have never received so much email on this idea like we have. Let's see, we started this podcast on August 29th, 2024. A lot of you want to show compassion, and that's impressive. It really is. You want to show the compassion by starting a compassion movement. So if you're serious about it, you know, we need a name. Now, Fleabag and I thought something simple like Heal America would be perfect. But, again, we don't want to come up with it and leave you out. You like the idea, so bring us some ideas. What would you call it? Once we have a name, we have a movement, and we'll rock and roll with it. Send it to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. But it's a movement of compassion to vote out every single Democrat so they can go heal up. They can come back 4 years later, 3.5 years later, whatever it is. But right now, in the midterms coming up, they all need to go. They need to go heal up. All right, here's a serious question that I want you to ponder this weekend. Over the past 30 years, how many government investigations have produced a guilty politician to where they had to do some serious jail time? We can't think of one. Fleabag and I didn't want to Google it because maybe there's been one or two, but we're trying to not rely on Google and ChatGPT so much because it's melting our brains. But we can't think of one. So if you can, please share it with us because there have been millions of dollars in legal fees spent over the years keeping lawyers employed. I need a little whiskey. It's a shot of Fireball coming. Yeah, 100th episode, we whipped out the Fireball today. A little whiskey to keep us frisky today. Because we got a ways to go here on the Rat's Ass Podcast 100th episode. But you think about the millions in legal fees that have been spent over the years, and for what? Now, some people might bring up Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's assistant. She was not a government official. She was convicted by the government. That's not the same thing. We're looking for politicians. Since 1995, when has a government investigation produced serious jail time for an elected politician? We've seen all the investigations. They've had trials. We've seen them on C-SPAN, sometimes the national network news, but nothing. And you think about it, we have short memories. They have these trials, nobody gets convicted, they're on to the next thing, and we forget about the last one. So let us know. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com again. All right, women have hated Hooters restaurants for over 40 years. Yeah, they started in 1983, so that's 42 years? And their shameful hatred has almost succeeded at bankrupting the company. But you know what? It's poised to make a comeback. Like it or not, thanks to the original owner, Neil Kiefer. He has opened a brand new franchise of Hooters just outside of Orlando, Florida, in a senior citizens retirement community called The Villages. Now, Neil may start opening new Hooters restaurants at other retirement homes. And the reason being is that these folks are the ones who created the Family Fun restaurant back in the early 80s. We all went. We all had fun. We weren't offended by the girls in the TNA. We loved it. We loved it. That's our generation. So Neil's idea is to come back and say, hey, these are the people who built Hooters for about 10 years in the 80s and 90s. Let's go to where they are and opening up some new restaurants. Because when you think about it, before the angry, easily offended, and politically correct managed to hoist a dark cloud over Hooters, there are a lot of men who are widowers now who, they may be old, but they still like a little TNA. And then you have couples who've been married for years, and the women are happy to get the men out of their blue hair for a couple of hours. And they know if the old coot goes to Hooters and gets a little chubby, looking at some young TNA, who knows? Maybe she'll get a little nookie for her cookie, too. Yeah, just because you get old doesn't mean you don't want to do a little who's your daddy, who's your daddy. I know you don't want to picture your grandparents like that, but hey, they're humping and pumping just like everybody else. Now, I think Neil Kiefer's on to something here, though. Hooters for honkers. Old honkers, but still, Hooters for honkers. All right, have you heard of the band Velvet Sundown? The Velvet Sundown. Now, they're all the rage right now. People have been downloading their tunes. They've got 2 albums they've released this year so far, Floating on Echoes and Dust and Silence. Now, they've had over 1 million downloads in a very short period of time. Now, here's the gag. It's an all AI band. It's not real. They're all artificial intelligence generated. Now, I'm sure a lot of the downloads have come out of curiosity, but, could they be a force to be reckoned with? Is this the future of music? It's going to be the future of movies and TV, so why not music? I mean, I downloaded it, and my fine-tuned ear for the music found Velvet Sundown to be blah, very blah. In fact, they gave me a frickin' headache, to be honest with you. I tried listening to all 24 tracks. I listened to the first one until I heard the vocals, and I was like, oh, really? This is what people are downloading? And I admit, I knew it was AI before I went to check them out. So I'm a little jaded probably, but I never made it more than 8 seconds to any of the remaining 23 songs. So I'm sure to the untrained ear, there will be those of you who think Velvet Sundown is the greatest thing since the Beatles. Probably so. But it's this year's great Fake It Until You Make It story. I think that part of it's awesome. But you can check them out. Just go to iTunes, Spotify. It's all there for you when you want to check it out. It is called Velvet Sundown.
He's got big feet, big hands, and a small brain.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here is Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
Oh, she's in a mood. I'm not even going to respond to that one. All right, WNBA fans are pissed. They're so pissed the league may lose fans. Angel Reese, the bad girl from the Chicago Sky, will be featured on WNBA 2K26, the cover of the video game, not Caitlin Clark. I think it's a brilliant marketing move by creators of visual concepts because we're talking about it. It's all over social media, all over TV. Everybody's talking about it that's a fan of the sport, and they're not spending any money on marketing. If they go with Caitlin, it's just another company riding on Clark's coattails. Nobody notices, so just kind of chill out, relax. It's just basic marketing 101. And if you're not happy about it, don't buy the game. Highly touted rookie Cooper Flagg made his NBA debut last night in Las Vegas for the Dallas Mavericks. He put up an unimpressive 10 points, but you can see the potential is there. He's only 18 years old. I think he's going to be a great pro in a couple of years. Dallas edged out the Lakers 87-85. Bronny James broke the game's final shot from 3. Thought he was going to pump up a 30-footer and have the glory. Well, it bricked. When I've got Dalton Connect and Cole Swider, who was on fire the whole game, I really don't want Bronny James taking that shot. It was a bad decision by James. His ego wrote a check that he could not cash. All right, guess what starts next week? NFL training camps are opening across the entire country, across the league. You're going to see the rookies reporting first, and the following week, the veterans will be dragging their raggedy asses in. And 6 weeks from now, we'll have football, NFL football. It's also time to start thinking about fantasy football, guys. I'm still trying to determine if we're going to host a fantasy football league or participate in one. We'll let you know next week on that one. Now, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, some unknown gambler has laid down $1 million on the Las Vegas Raiders to win the Super Bowl. Man, I can't talk today. Give me some more whiskey to make me frisky. Another shot of Fireball coming. You know, I might be loaded by the end of this podcast. But if they win, they're going to pocket $2.5 million. So we're going to say, good luck to you, Elon Musk. You got to have that kind of money. Just throw up $1 million and hope to win with the Raiders. I love my Raiders, man, but I'm going to be happy with 8-9 wins this season. And that's sports on the Rats.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today you're going to need to screw your mind on tight because we're going to play the movie mashup. It's where I play 3 clips from 3 different movies, and you have to identify all 3. Are you ready? Here we go. Listen close.
I want you to fire the fat people.
This
What?
one time
They're lazy.
at band camp,
Let's start that all over again. I blew it. It's the Fireball.
And they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
I stuck a flute in my
Oh,
pussy.
come on. Oh, God, this is all screwed up. Okay, let's try it one. Should I drink more? No more Fireball for me. Yeah, it's happening already. It's already hit the tummy. You know, you should never drink Fireball on an empty stomach. Okay, let's do this again. Let's go.
I want you to fire the fat people.
What?
They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to
This
look
one
at.
time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe.
All right, let's do it again. One more time.
I want you to fire the fat people.
What?
They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
This one time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't.
All right, think about it. Take a while. Spin it around. I'll have the answer for you coming up a little bit later on the podcast. All right, who's ready to go with some loose behavior?
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It is finally Friday. And that could only mean it's time for the Friday Funny, and I told you we got a good one for you today. And since this is the 100th episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast with What's My Name, I'm going to bring back my favorite comedian of all time, the master, the blaster, George Carlin, talking about names.
And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. You know, yeah, it's a goofy fucking name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd. And this is Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are all these goofy fucking boys' names coming from? Taylor, Tyler, Jordan, Flynn. These are not real names. You want to hear a real name? Eddie. Eddie is a real name. Whatever happened to Eddie? He was here a minute ago. Joey and Jackie and Johnny and Phil, Bobby and Tommy and Danny and Bill. What happened? Todd and Cody and Dylan and Cameron and Tucker. Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd. Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker. Fuck Tucker. Tucker sucks. And fuck Tucker's friend, Kyle.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, the red hot rumor that has tongues wagging is ex-NFL great Tom Brady is hitting it with Modern Family star Sofia Vergara. Yes, he is. Little, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Tom is 47. She's 53. Now, you would think, yeah, I know, you're thinking this is odd, but, you know, after playing for Bill Belichick all those years, you would think Tom would be chasing 18-year-olds, but apparently Tommy has a mommy fetish. All right, Justin, the Biebs Bieber has released his first album in 4 years. It's called Swag, and he said it addresses his marriage and the mental issues he's been dealing with. Funny how marriage will do that to a guy sometimes. I haven't heard of any of the songs yet. I'll check it out over the weekend and get back to you. But he missed the mark on the album cover, I think. It shows him shirtless from behind, looking at his wife Haley and his son Jack Blues. You know, if I was designing that album cover based on the theme that he just talked about, I'd put Justin in a straitjacket. Now that's some swag. All right, the White House has released a photo of Donald Trump dressed as Superman this morning. No doubt to antagonize the liberals and, you know, take away a little bit of shine from the new woke version of Superman, The Immigrant, opening up in theaters today. You know, you can say what you will about the president, Donald Trump, but He never misses an opportunity to ruin the Liberals, Democrats' weekend, does he? All right, get ready for a full fall of the Kelsey Brothers. Yeah, Travis and Jason. The two have been working on an album of cover tunes produced by Taylor Swift. And we should have it by the start of football season. Talk about tying in with the right time. Kelsey Brothers. I think that's the name of the band, the Kelsey Brothers. No, I'm just kidding. I just made that up to mess with you. And if you haven't heard it yet, Britney Spears has now been single for a total of 142 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. My producer, Fleabag, forwards me your name, where you're from, and rewrites them so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly, and no topic is off the table. It is impossible to offend me. And I'm going to have my third shot of Fireball, if you don't mind. Oh, we're going to have a good weekend. Fireball, come in. Fireball. Fireball, come in. All right, Brian B., Hershey, Pennsylvania, said, congrats on the 100th. How about a good old filthy joke? Okay, well, after 3 shots of Fireball, here's what pops into my head first. A black man and a white man are walking across the Gold Gate Bridge. Black dude says to the white guy, man, I got to take a leak. White guy says, yeah, me too. So they walk over to the edge of the bridge. Black guy pulls out his pecker and starts pissing. White guy takes out his pecker, starts pissing. Black dude says, Jesus, this water is cold. The white guy says, yeah, and it's deep too. All right, Melissa M. in Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for putting out the Ozzy reunion with Black Sabbath up on your YouTube channel. My husband and I are really digging all the videos you're posting. Yeah, I haven't talked about this a whole lot, but we do have the YouTube channel. I've promoted it on social media, but not so much here on the podcast. But we have Rat's Ass Rock TV. We thought about radio. We said, you know what? There's nothing like the music and the videos to go with it, so let's just do the YouTube channel thing. And so we have a collection of rock videos from the 70s to now, and we've cut it up in two different categories. So those of you who like classic rock, it's all classic rock. Those who like newer music, say from, and I say newer, but from the last 30 years, there's another channel for that. We've got 18 live concerts up there. Plus, we're going to leave up the Best of Ozzy Osbourne an extra week because we do have the new show with him and Black Sabbath. And I think this is kind of a teaser because that was a whole huge day concert. I think they're going to put out a whole video with all the bands who participated. Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Disturbed, all those bands. You know, Steven Tyler was there doing a knockout version of Whole Lotta Love. So I think they're going to put this out, let you see it on YouTube. So they'll lather you up so you get the whole video when it comes out. But I'm glad you're liking it. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Rat's Ass Rock TV. You can connect through it at ratsasspodcast.com. All right, Stan D., Charleston, South Carolina, says, I went to see your Governor Gavin Newsom this week. Why would you waste your time, man? He said, what a wolf in sheep's clothing. I wouldn't vote for that guy if you paid me $1 million. He oozes slime. Yeah, that's why I call him the slumlord. The guy is all talk, no action, has all these big ideas and plans, signs all these things, and all you do is lose millions of dollars that do absolutely nothing. You know, the idea of a political scumbag is Gavin Newsom. All right, Sam K., Canoga Park, California, said, I got a rare movie line I bet I can stump you with. Oh, you guys keep bringing them at me. You can't do it. I'm telling you, you can't do it. But here's the line. It ain't got no gas in it. Sam, that's Sling Blade. That's Carl Childers. Ain't got no gas in it. It ain't got no gas in it. Right? Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty damn sure it's Sling Blade. All right, Angel M., Sarasota, Florida, said, dude. Oh, I love emails that start with dude. I should have listened to you. I brought a girl home from a bar and I had hot sex with her and fell asleep. Bitch robbed me for $400. You guys will never learn. He said, you said to never take a girl home to your place that you met in the bar. I didn't listen, and I just want to tell everybody to listen to this man. He knows what he says. Well, of course. I wouldn't say it if I didn't know it was true. Happens 9 times out of 10. You guys take a girl home from the bar, you go have hot buck-naked sex, she lulls you to sleep, and the next thing you know, your wallet's gone. My wallet's gone! My wallet's gone! Seinfeld reference. Rachel C., Columbus, Ohio, said, I met this guy in Cancun, and we had a really good time. No sex, we just had fun. Sure. He found me on Facebook and wants to come and visit me, though, but I'm married, and he doesn't know it. How can I tell him not to come so he doesn't flip out? Because I led him on just a little bit. Rachel, no, you didn't lead him on just a little bit. You led him on a lot. Guy wants to come from Cancun to Columbus to see you. No, he wants to discover something. But the real honest answer here is the honest answer. You know, go on your Facebook page. Post all kinds of family photos. Happy, loving family. You care about each other, hugging and kissing on your husband. Send him a note and just says, hey, listen, I'm married. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to ruin our good time. But it's not a good idea for you to come to Columbus and discover the ocean blue, okay? All right, if you have any questions, observations, or comments, send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
Okay, today we are playing the movie mashup. I played 3 clips from 3 different movies. Have you figured them out yet? Okay, listen close. Here are the clips again.
I want you to fire the fat people.
What?
They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
This one time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't.
All right. I bet you have 2 out of the 3, maybe not the first, but if you got Horrible Bosses, American Pie, and Beetlejuice.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got to roll because the weekend is here, and I've been invited to participate, would you believe this, in a cornhole winner-take-all tournament this weekend. So I need to go practice tossing off. But I do have one more thing for you. It's been proven that left-handed people have more emotional and behavioral problems than right-handed people. Now, here are some famous southpaws I found for you, and you may have heard of these folks. Barack Obama, Mark Hamill, Bill Gates, Whoopi Goldberg, and Robert De Niro. You heard of those guys? Now, that's what you call a handful of nuts. Hey, Alexa, are you right or left-handed?
I don't have time for your dipshittery today. Let's just keep the show moving.
Oh, you don't have time for my dipshittery.
Here is Mojo Elliott with shout-outs to Rat Nation.
God, she sounds left-handed to me. That's funny. All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Raymond Jean of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Brandon Bradford of Yakima, Washington. Mike Willow from Palm Springs, California. And to the Resistance, those of you who email us but fail to sign up for Rat Nation. What's your problem? Lisa H., Richmond, Virginia. Jackson K., Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Nikki V. from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And to all the folks listening around the world in great places like Pitt Meadows, Canada, Mexico City, Mexico, and in Dublin, Ireland. Our big fans there. They've been around since the beginning, and we thank the folks in Dublin.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode, number 100 of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials. Listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, and read the blog. It is loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert info, the radio wars, sports, our Q&A, Battle of the Sexes, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. We're going to do this again on Monday, July 14th. Have a smashing weekend. And take care of each other. Thanks for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.